Hi, Marie here, and today we're going to be coloring a stamp set by Extra Special Easter by Lawn Fawn. Last week we did the bunny. This week we're going to do the basket and the eggs. We're always having new people come along, so I think it's important to review dimensional coloring. The difference between using one Copic or Shinhan and using 2 or 3 or more. Now, this is the basket I colored, and I stamped the image with Express It using Memento Tuxedo Black. My light source is going to be coming from your upper left. I didn't want to have it coming from the right because just it looked a little different with that bow there, but it'll come from your upper left. Now we're going to color the eggs using one with just one color. This will be flat coloring. It will be flat, it won't have dimension, the edges are not curved. Now on the second, we're going to add a second color to give it a little more dimension, make it look a little more rounded. So we're going to add a little B00 and blending it out somewhat. Now on the third, you're going to see the difference it makes when a third color is added. We're going to add a B01. Just darkening those edges on the shadow side, flicking lightly toward the center, blending from the outer edge of that toward the highlight, and then the B0000 for your highlight. And I think when you compare, you will see the difference between basic flat coloring and dimensional. We're repeating the process using the same color combo, only I think it's being hid down in that dark shadow area, so I'm going to add at the very end here a little bit of B02 rather than the B01 by itself. And then we're flicking to it with our mid-tone and then our highlight, the B quadruple O. Here's the darker color. I just felt it needed a little bit more darkness in there. Now we're repeating the same process. We have 3 Copics here with our RV. Our light is the RV11. Our mid-tone will be the RV13. And the deepest shadow will be an RV25. And we will blend out with the mid-tone, the RV13, flicking toward that highlight. This area is small, so be careful not to go too far into your highlight. Just small flicking motions. And now we're using yellow, and it will be the same basic 3 colors. The Y11, and our mid-tone will be the Y13, and darkest shadow, Y15. Then blending back out with your mid-tone toward your highlight, and just very ever so lightly blending over with just one coat over that highlight. I like to sometimes go back in and darken my very shadows, give them a little more intensity, and every time we go over a color, it will add more particles and darken that color. So try avoid going over your highlight too much. Okay, and now with our green, we will use the G40 for our highlight and base coat, G43 for our mid-tone, For the dark shadows we're putting in would be the G4-6. And for the midtone, it's a G4-3. And then flicking again toward our highlight with our G4-0. This green egg is in shadow more than the others due to not only the handle, the basket, the other eggs, so it's not going to have as much highlight. But it still will be darker on your right-hand side. It's a good practice to wipe off the very tip lightly of your lightest color on scratch so you don't drag darker color into your highlight. And now our next little egg, our last one, we're going to just repeat the blue again. And again, our 3 Copics will be putting down the base coat and the highlight very lightly with a B0000. And the midtone being B00, and the very darkest on this particular is the B02. Blending out with the midtone toward the highlight and then lightly over the highlight with the B quadruple. I just wanted to go back and darken some of those shadows a little more. I always like to examine my image when I finish and see where I need to add more contrast, and I like to pull out my light grid and make sure that where the line begins to touch my image, I am in highlight, and where the line leaves that particular part of the image, the egg, it's in the shadow areas. And so if you take a moment and always do that, I think you'll be a lot happier and make sure that that way you're kind of consistent with your light source. So there you have it. I know that this is a very beginning tutorial, but we always want to grow and encourage new crafters and people to pick up Shinhan or Copic and give it a try. And as a community, we want to support each other. So we'll be occasionally doing very basic along with intermediate and advanced. Hope you like this tutorial and that you'll give it a try. If you see it on YouTube, give it a big thumbs up, like, and share. Encourage more people to join our Marker Pop blog, and also to view the tutorials on YouTube.